Welcome to the SDFC Fancast, the podcast where average Joes discuss America's finest city's newest addition to the MLS, San Diego Football Club, with your host, Nathan Parada, featuring Keegan, Devlin, Colin Thomas, and Chris Thomas, and of course the man who holds it all together, producer Trevor. Let's do this.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the SDFC Fancast.
Woo!
Yeah! What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me on this Sunday evening. Colin, Keegan, Chris, producer Trev. Hope everybody's week was good.
Oh yeah, it was great.
You as well.
Yeah, it was. No complaints here. Now I'm ready to talk about soccer with my friends. Aw. What about you guys? You guys ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right.
Born ready.
Let's start
Yesterday
with-
and the day before was about 42 below, so I'm a little cold, a little chilly, but I'm ready to dive into this.
Where
That
are you?
sounds right.
Where are you located?
Yeah, and we're a San Diego podcast, but I'm actually located in Montana. Born in San Diego, living in Montana.
Well, it's because the team already has a fan base in Montana. So look at us, spreading the word. We're like missionaries for San Diego FC.
Spread the gospel.
But speaking of spreading the word of the team, they're having a Chrome Ball tour, which the Chrome Ball was a big like statue that was made with a local artist, Gabriel Medina, outside of Oceanside, or working out of Oceanside. And it's a cool giant like chrome soccer ball, and it has the names of the 18 cities in San Diego County. And what they're doing is they're going around and taking it to every single city. And they already have the schedule out for, I think, almost all the cities. There's a few that are to be determined, but they have location, time, schedule. I'll be going to the Oceanside one, January 27th. There's one in Escondido. I think somebody mentioned they might be going to it.
Yeah, I'd imagine Keegan, producer Trevor, and I will be going to that one for sure. Really cool marketing tour by them, at least to get the locals involved and aware of SDFC. So,
Yeah,
I'll go with you to the Oceanside one as well. I want to
That'd be
go to as
awesome.
many as possible.
Well, I think that they said that they have bespoke or custom stuff at every single stop. So I think like they'll have Oceanside gear and they'll have merch or for every single city too that's custom to that city, which is that's a really good idea. On the marketing side and just what's that?
Yeah,
Demo you guys
big-
can have so you can give me some artwork, mail it back my way or whatever. I might have there's probably gotta be some sweet artwork of those things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
so
should
they
be. They should be going to Bozeman too. I'd imagine. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't.
They should. Pretty much half San Diego here.
Stop number one.
Yeah, there's one
Yeah,
in
it sounds
Poway
cool.
too.
Yeah, they're doing like all 16 cities, and they're doing like skate contests. They have like music, food. It's like a whole all day long event. I just saw some pictures and videos from the last one they did. But it's good for them. It's good outreach to go to like their whole thing is the 16 cities, the whole ball, but to go to every city to get the outreach and build the hype for the team essentially. Because I know a lot of the youth soccer teams are going to those events too. So you're getting kids, their families are going, and just building everything up for the upcoming season and a half.
Oh yeah, and I think it's 18 cities, right? I think so. But
Yeah,
the store,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
all good.
I was kind of hoping producer Trevor would pop in there and be like,
They have-
dumbass."
Well, they have one way that is easy for me to remember is the store in the mall that they have for the merch is called 18 Threads. So they actually had an event there this past weekend. So they've been doing a good job posting a lot on social media. They already posted some custom art for the city, which is really awesome. And I mean, that's pretty crazy to me that they already have like a store in the mall when they're not even playing until the 2025 season. But I think that's like a requirement. You got to get people excited, get people pumped up. I think they're doing all the right things right now.
It's good to be ahead of your time, sort of like a podcast before, the season even starts. But That's unrelated.
So
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to start a not us. Well, maybe, but they're already starting a supporters group, right, for San Diego FC. Have you guys thought of like what you would want it to be called or anything like that? Because usually, like a supporters group, you take the name from something like Chelsea's is the Shed End because the supporters stand in the Shed End. So it's like it's not, so it's the Shed End Army. It's not like anything special. But I was talking to Chris. I was texting Chris a little bit this week, and I was thinking maybe the Murphs, like Jack Murphy Stadium. I don't know.
So it's a kick-ass idea. For anyone who doesn't know, the Chargers played in, and the Padres, for that matter, played in a stadium in San Diego called Jack Murphy Stadium for many, many years. So it definitely RIP definitely has San Diego roots in it. So it's a really cool idea. I think it's sick.
Yeah, Jack Murphy wrote for San Diego Union for a long time as a sports writer. So yeah, they named the stadium after him. I don't know. Everybody who grew up in San Diego, which we did, and which is why we're so excited the team is coming. That's like, to me, that's like quintessential growing up in San Diego is Jack Murphy Stadium going to, because they had the monster trucks, the air show. They did a bunch of stuff at Jack Murphy too. So it's just kind of a San Diego thing.
Like, he was our child.
You guys are old. I'm used to Qualcomm. It was Qualcomm for my childhood.
I was just going to say that.
Then it switched over to Qualcomm. Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely the Murph for a long time, but yeah, I mean the Qualcomm was a very, very long time. So, I mean, you got to be a certain age to know the Murphs.
That is true, and that's why.
Alert.
Yeah,
we're pushing 40. Old me and producer Trevor. Don't tell anybody.
And I was thinking with all the social media posts that San Diego FC's doing, everything's in like Spanglish, which I like. Makes me feel so freaking cultured. But I like. I was thinking Low Smurfs, but then it sounds like the Smurfs, and I don't think that would work very well.
Yeah. Or what about? I wonder if they'll do something for Snapdragon Stadium. If they'll do something.
I was thinking the same thing, like the Snapdragons.
Yeah, I was thinking. Well, just you're thinking the Murphs was Jack Murphy Stadium. Obviously, now they're at Snapdragon. So at least something with dragons, like not the dragons. That's stupid. But like
yeah,
flame or the fire or something like that would be kind of cool for a supporter section.
Yeah,
like
the fire. Yeah, that. Yeah, you're onto something there, maybe.
But that would be cool. Chicago is called the Fire, the team. I don't know.
Yeah.
I am. One thing with Snapdragon being a like a logo or something or an advertisement is like, isn't that kind of like Arsenal supporters calling themselves the Emirates or something? Using like because their stadium. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know how this stuff works. Like, do you get together and go, what are we going to call ourselves as supporters, a supporters group?
Well, that's a good thing to talk about. Like, who is going to organize the supporters section of SDFC? Like, has that already happened? Is whoever's organizing the loyal is going to just kind of transfer over and just do it for SDFC? Like, because usually there's a kind of a community. There's a certain amount of people who sort of drive that.
I feel like right now it's kind of vague because you can log on and you can sign up to be a supporter on their webpage, but then I don't know what that means or what that includes or anything like that after the fact. Yeah. So I don't know what's happening after that.
I would like to be the guy who just does the drums the whole time. Just
your shoulders would be huge.
Well, you could do like you could do the black dragons, you could do the red dragons, blue dragons. You could like. I don't know. Quite a few things you could do.
I have a bunch of.
There's a lot to work with dragons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, speaking of Snapdragon, they did talk about they have that subject of the shade. Is there enough shade? That does keep coming up. They did do. I think they did some studies. I think somebody put in the group that a study was conducted, like a shade study. So that is still on people's minds. And then parking, that was what the study was done, because parking is one issue, because parking is horrible. There's literally one way into the stadium. So it is good that they're addressing that type of stuff. That does make me happy
Yeah,
that it's not just being swept under the rug.
Parking is terrible. We went to the Wrexham game and had VIP parking and everything, and it still took us an hour to get out. There was no different. Like the
It
whole
was a
parking
disaster.
That's crazy.
is bad. And even when I went to a rugby game there, which was like half capacity during a day game, getting in and out even with half capacity was not easy. Like they really have some things to figure out. Hopefully another season of Aztecs football and the SDFC coming in will help them figure all the little details out. But they still have some kinks to, get settled before.
Yeah.
Speaking as a long time Charger fan who went to many Chargers games at the location where the stadium is different now, but the location of the stadium is the same. It was always a disaster getting in and out of there. It's probably going to be a disaster getting in and out of there. It is what it is.
Friars Road sucks.
Yeah, the location is bad.
Yeah, they'd have to create some kind of railway system to get in and out of there. Other than
underground,
well, they have the trolley,
Elon Musk's next adventure.
And the trolley is convenient.
Underground.
So that is one thing that I would like. Yeah, that's one thing that I would suggest for anyone who's never been to a game at that specific location. Take the trolley. Park at one of the trolley stations. Take the trolley in there. It's the best way to go. 100%.
And when you saw Wrexham there, they played Man U, right?
It was like the D squad Man U, but yeah.
But Trev, I think you mentioned producer Trev. You mentioned that Man U has an agreement with Snapdragon or a deal or something like that. Are they scheduled to play there multiple times? What?
Yeah, so they have I'll speak for Trev. They have a contract with Manchester United, which means they pretty much every time they come to America, it's like a 99% chance that they're going to be playing at Snapdragon because they literally have a contract with Snapdragon. So we can count on Man U coming here every year for years to come.
That sucks.
I know.
I mean, I think it's kind of cool, but whatever.
Yeah, if Bruno Fernandes, etc., are actually there, like Garnacho, and they were there, that'd be cool.
I would have chosen so many teams before Manchester. There's probably every team in the world before Man U. But yeah. Anyway, hey, the U.S. men's national team plays on the 20th, Saturday the 20th. All MLS squad. Ooh, that's exciting.
Heck yeah, we're gonna live stream it.
Yeah, we could watch it together. But yeah, Keegan, you were mentioning this is kind of a team that's prepping for the Olympics. Potentially.
It looks like this is kind of not a pre-game for the Olympics. It's friendly, but it sounds like the squad for the national team, they're playing this game, and then that's the last national team game until the Olympics in Paris. So it'd be kind of excited to see all of them get together, do a practice game. Not practice game, but you know what I mean, before the Olympics. But they should have I hope, the Olympics now with soccer is getting bigger, so it'll be fun to watch the team get together over the summer and see what they do. Like, especially a young team, coming off last World Cup, But I'm interested to see. It should be fun to watch. So.
Me too. And this is the first time that we've qualified for the Olympics since 2008. So 16 years, there's been a 16-year drought that we have not even qualified. So that since we
Wow.
So it's been a long time. So this is a big deal for our under 20 team. Yeah, because it's like since it's the under 20 teams that get sent to the Olympics, like we've usually not done as well in that arena. Done all right in the under 20 World Cup and under 18 and stuff, but for some reason the Olympics has always been something that's been tough for us to qualify for.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but in the Olympics it's under, I think it's under 20. It's either under 20 or under 22, but they get like one or two players that can be over 22, right? Like captains, so to speak.
I think 2 slots. Like Brian McBride did it when he was in his mid to late 30s for the U.S. That might have been the last time we were there, actually.
23.
Yeah, I remember Landon going one year.
Ooh, maybe. So
That's
I'll
right,
look.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll double check that, but that's what I read online today. So let me recuse myself of saying anything incorrectly.
Ooh,
But no, I think
recuse
it's the first
accepted.
time. And
I
that is
do
exciting.
think that the Olympics for soccer could be a lot better. Like, I don't know.
Excited,
No,
actually, which never been excited before for the Olympics in soccer. Have you?
Oh, really?
no.
I mean, not for a while, anyway. I'd say.
I've never been excited, not once.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. I don't know. I feel like they should advertise it like they do the World Cup, and let's have it every, other cycle that the World Cup happens, and let's really get into it. Like, I don't know, send our best players there. I think that would be awesome.
I think that would be great. I mean, yeah, I don't know what the rules are with like the Olympics. Technically, supposed to be amateurs or whatever, and that's why they do the under 20 teams. But they can make up the rules as they go along. I mean, you give the 2 old guy slots as well and all that stuff, right?
Exactly.
Come on,
Yeah.
IOC, get with it. You have
Look
this
at what
gold
happened.
mine.
Yeah, well, look what happened with basketball. It was always like college kids, and then they finally let pro players. The basketball Olympics are awesome. They should
Yeah,
do that for
100%.
soccer as well. But I get it. It's also summer. Well, no, they're all off, so never mind. That it's not like leagues are MLS is, but Prem and all that they're off.
It'll be
Then
interesting
again,
to
it's
see
also
too,
their
because like
vacation. So
those teams or those players, like any. I mean, I don't really know like the specifics of like who's playing for the Olympics, but some of those players could certainly end up on San Diego, right? Like
Oh yeah,
some of these players on this team, so it could be. It's just fun to watch the talent, like you were saying, and then who knows, like as we start like picking up players and signing players throughout this year, it's kind of interesting to see how the Olympics like all kind of ties that in together with our team specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And it could put certain people on the map. Like you go and have a good Olympics, and all of a sudden you're getting signed by Liverpool or Arsenal or whatever. If you have a good Olympic.
international tournaments are a great way to showcase. Andre Arshavin got signed because of that Euros where he killed it by Arsenal. I mean, yeah, like those international tournaments are a great place to show and get signed by bigger clubs. 100%.
Yeah.
and for our talent too, U.S. talent. If we have young guys who, even if they're like 17, 18, who might not be ready for the national team for a couple of years, it's kind of fun to see who could be stepping up in years to come.
And they get tournament experience. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like spring training when they have young guys come up for baseball. And then, this 3 years, this dude's going to be ready for the major leagues. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys. What stats do you guys care about when you're watching a soccer game? Like, because I've noticed that the number of stats that they present, like XG and all this stuff, and I don't even know how it's calculated or why I should think it's important or anything like that. The only stats that I really find important are like assists, goals, like how far someone's run, how many touches they've had.
Run is what I like.
Yeah.
That's like
tackles,
the main
interceptions.
one.
But what else? Like, what other stats do you guys even give a shit about? I'm very curious about that.
I have a lot to say on this matter, but I'll let someone else go first.
I have very little to say on this matter. Pretty much
lead it up, like, just go.
Hell yeah, Chris. The floor is yours, dude. The floor is yours.
I've prepared an essay statement, but no, go proceed without, like, no, go, get into it. Let's go.
Second tease, dude.
I've thought about this
Come on.
quite a lot, actually.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
And it all really well. I almost don't want to give this away on our podcast because it could be a great $1 million idea, but it really relates to like fantasy football, right? They have stats for everything. So I want pass accuracy, passes completed, tackle accuracy, tackles completed. Like you guys said, distance ran. We have slide tackle percentage. I mean, you could dive into literally every single statistical aspect of the game. And also assists behind the assists. For example, like if I had an incredible pass to someone and they just knocked it down and got the assist for the goal, like that guy should be getting the assist for that. So, I mean, there's tons and tons of metrics that you could dive into that I am very, very into. But I'm a big old stat nerd, so
you like it? The more stats, the better.
yeah, I'm all about it. And honestly, I think that's why American football is so big here, because they were able to identify certain stats and gamify it, and I
That
think
is
that's fun as shit.
that is true, and that is a funny because that's a different approach. Because mine is always like yours is you're following it for the fantasy side and for the game side. I'm always curious as to why, like, when it's talking about, okay, we're comparing two players, and it's like, well, this person has a higher XG. It's like, who gives, okay, what does that mean? Let me know how many goals they actually scored if you're going to compare two players or two teams together. I guess that should have been the question, like when you're comparing two teams or two players, what stats do you care about?
Well, so
But they blend in.
the goals versus assists may not tell the whole story, right?
Yeah.
Like someone could be having a great impact on the game based off of the passes they've made, the tackles they've made, the things that don't go noticed on the stat board.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that really have an impact on a game, and I feel like those things should go towards your fantasy points.
Yeah, true. Part of me feels like too, like everyone's trying to recreate the Moneyball thing and find out, okay, what's the next stat that nobody thinks matters but really matters? That's another thing I think is happening. But what do I know?
There's always that in anything though, especially with stats. Like
Yeah.
there is kind of, you can overstat, but I think Chris's point is right. Is that stats are good in a way that quantify people who don't have, like you were saying, Chris, don't have the assist, but have the great ball into the guy who feeds it that scores. He doesn't get the assist, but without his pass in, doesn't score. Those metrics, if you just look at goals and assists, aren't quantified at all when you're looking at whoever's stats. So there is a lot to be said for stats, especially for like midfielders and defensive backs who it doesn't play as much as like forwards who have goals and assists. If that
When
makes
this
sense.
when this podcast blows up, we're gonna hire a mathematician to figure those stats out for us, and we're gonna find some stats no one used before. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. And Chris, you brought up fantasy. Speaking of fantasy, y'all want to do a fantasy roundup?
Fantasy roundup.
We're all in a fantasy soccer league together. It's a head-to-head league, which means we have a different opponent each week, and we play each other and go head-to-head. So, how are you guys doing thus far this week? Who you playing, Chris?
I'm playing you, brother.
Ooh. Yeah.
And you're probably gonna win.
I don't know. I hope so. I don't know. I want to keep that first place spot.
So I mentioned this earlier to producer Trevor, but in years past, if you had Man City defenders who played 90 minutes consistently, you were golden. They were going to get clean sheets, which means points for anyone who isn't aware. I have two Man City defenders who each played 90 minutes, and they each got me 1 point this week. So, fuck off.
Oh, bummer. Keegan, who are you playing this week? Oh.
I'm and I'm not in the league this year, and I hate myself for not being in the league this year.
I did a little flip on that one.
Yeah.
No beef and ball this year.
No beef and ball. You guys are lucky. You'd be losing if I was.
Yeah, I played Ari, and side note, I had sweet Kevin De Bruyne came back off the bench for the first time since his horrible injury. 20 minutes into the first game of the season. So anyway, he came back today or yesterday, had a goal and assist, and
dude,
I think it's gonna be like 50-50.
He is just too good.
He single-handedly won them that game. They were losing 2-1. He comes in, scores a goal, and then has like the sickest assist. Granted, the finish from I forget his name, Bobo or whatever. Bob.
Yeah, Bobo Baggins.
Bob.
It was Bob,
Yeah,
right?
so Bob, he might take him to the title.
Man
Honestly,
City is producing. Their academy's producing some good players. Phil Foden, all those guys. They have a pretty good academy. Who's your out of all you guys? Who's your fantasy player that you kind of brought on a little later that you're surprised has kicked ass this season? Mine. I'll start. Mine is Cole Palmer. Whew, I love that boy. What about you guys?
I didn't bring him on too late. I think I actually drafted him. But Dominic Solanke, can we just give a round of applause for that guy?
Yeah, from the
Sure.
Chelsea Academy. I love Dominic Solanke.
I don't have anyone. My team sucks. I'm blowing it.
You're like in first, or like
I'm in
right
third.
around there.
I'm in third place, but my points scored are embarrassing. I have like the fourth highest scoring points out of 10 people. It's
Head
a
to head,
joke.
man.
Hey,
Up to the gods.
yep.
I will say there is one player on Liverpool, Soboslasle. I can't pronounce his name.
Okay.
Nate, how do you pronounce his name?
Sly, I think.
Sobosly. He was a waiver wire guy of mine, and he's a stud. He's awesome.
Nice. I was surprised you guys let me pick up Timo Werner. I'm glad he got an assist for me today.
I looked up his name for like 2 weeks, dude, and I swear I couldn't find him in the thing, and I don't know how. I looked at him.
There was a 1-day window that you could sign him, and that was it. I'm pretty certain.
Because I was checking, dude, and then I saw it. Cause I didn't think he was in the system yet, is what I thought happened.
Yeah.
Because I was looking, man.
I was looking religiously. It's like I want him.
So I kind of was. Dude. That's crazy. Well, I'm glad you got it.
All right, you guys ready for another quiz game? Quiz game Sunday. All right.
Let's do it.
So, today's quiz, I will name a team, and you have to guess which country the team plays in.
Ooh,
Sound
like
good?
it.
There's 7 questions,
it.
7 teams.
7 questions? I like
Yep.
this. This is
All right.
So, for instance, if I said San Diego F.C., right, it'd be the United States of America.
London.
All right. Team number 1, Muslim FC.
Oh, that's a real
so
team
it's
name.
what country they play in?
What country do they play in?
We're gonna get
Copy that.
canceled before we even put out.
That's it's a real team. I don't why would you? These are all real teams. All right, team number 2.
For 200.
Team number 2, Olympiacos.
I think I played as them once in FIFA.
Team number
And
3,
I lost.
the strongest.
Ooh.
You ever played
Gotta be Russia.
You ever
Yeah, I was
played
gonna
as
say,
them in
It's gotta
FIFA?
be- It's got to be Eastern European.
The strongest?
The strongest. All right. Number 4, Nueva Chicago.
Oh boy,
Mhm.
New Chicago.
Thanks for the translation, Keegan.
We're
Just in case.
multicultural here, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, we are.
Oh boy. Hold on.
I like that there's 7 questions. Siete.
All right. Team number
wait,
5.
Wait. Time out. Shit. All right. Time in.
Keegan's really racking his brain over this one.
I am
Game on.
really
Game
thinking-
on. All right. Team number 5, Phoenix Uprising.
Coheed and Cambria.
That's a trick question. Phoenix, is it Phoenix, Arizona, or is it Phoenix like a dragon?
Can I ask a question on this
You just
question?
gave it
How do
away,
you spell Phoenix?
Not like Phoenix TX, like the mythical bird that falls to ashes, then was reborn from its ashes.
That's what I was going for.
There's only one country. You boys are from it.
All right. Team 6, Sport Boys.
Oh boy. Sport boys.
Mm-hmm.
That was Keegan's golf team name in high school. Sport Boys. They didn't do well.
That's amazing.
0-58.
What a name.
That's got to be someone from the Mediterranean.
All right. Now the last team, Ceramica Cleopatra.
Ooh, that's actually I kind of like that.
Me too. I like that one.
Boy, I'm confident in like one.
I'm going on stereotype only for every name.
I'm confident in one as well.
All right, then you know
Well,
what we'll do. There's a lot of teams like there's a lot of wild names out there, so I'll be able to make more of these type quizzes. So, all right, y'all.
I love
You ready for the answers?
Yep.
Yeah, let's see it.
Muslim FC. They play in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna put that. I put Iran.
Pakistan,
Egypt.
baby.
Nice. Julie guessed Iran as well. Iran.
Man.
You did nice.
Yeah, Julie did.
Ju-
All right.
Julie's good.
Olympiacos plays in Greece.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
that was the
easy.
one I was confident on.
Yeah. The Strongest plays in Bolivia.
Oh.
I said Poland.
I put Romania.
They also have a tiger on their crest.
Dang.
Ooh, that's
There's some
badass.
cool clubs out there. Yeah, there's some cool clubs.
Nueva Chicago play in Argentina.
Damn it.
Uh,
Mexico.
I did Mexico
Brazil.
too.
Phoenix Uprising, United States of America.
I didn't get it. I said
I put
Spain.
Wales.
Oh,
I had US, and then Keegan was like,
Yeah,
"It's where you guys are from. It's
about it.
Wales." So I did Wales.
Well, that because
Why would I listen to this guy?
That's look good.
Because I thought you were like all confident.
Does
and I
not
was like,
make
oh,
us look good.
ooh, tricked them. All right.
oh, that's you totally did.
Well, I need to get these next two.
Sport Boys play in Peru.
Dang it. Brazil.
Not even-
I was close.
I wasn't even on the same continent.
I did Ireland.
Ireland.
That's
I don't know.
These are hard.
This
Correct.
Sport Boys.
And then-
you're sport boys. You're fucking sport boys.
Ceramica Cleopatra plays in Egypt. It's the last
Yay.
one.
Oh, I said that in the
You
first
had to
one.
get that.
Oh.
I didn't get it. Don't worry about
I
it.
got three. I got 3 out of 4. I'll take it.
All right. Yeah, tell me you guys the score.
1, 2.
I got one, dude. I just disgraced with myself.
Damn, Chris, you're catching up. I won last week. You won this week.
Dang.
Chris, how much did you get?
3.
Nice. All right. So, yeah, right now the scores for the quiz games are Keegan 1, Chris 1 thus far.
Oh, are we doing it like that? Whoever gets the most wins that week. Is that how it works?
Yeah, you just
No, I'm
Like
just
that,
keeping
yeah.
I'm just keeping track of the wins like in total, and we'll do it for the year. So,
right.
you know,
Whoever gets the
New Year's.
most gets the win, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So there'll be
Thank
one
you,
win
Nate,
each
for,
quiz.
coming up with those.
Yeah, y'all, that was fun, and there's a bunch of crazy ass team names out there. So, but that was all I had for this evening. Thank you, everybody. What's that?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Chris.
I'd like to bring up one thing real quick, just because we
Please
mentioned
do.
it last week on the pod. So Liverpool and Fulham played in the cup game this past week. Remind me the name of it. Blanking, Nathan.
The Carabao Cup or the League
Carabao
Cup,
Cup.
EFL Cup.
Semifinals. It was at Liverpool. Fulham went up early, and then unfortunately, because Liverpool's the worst, came back and won 2-1. But huge result for Fulham. They still have a shot. They're only one down in the goal differential. So we'll see what happens next week. Keegs, how you feel about your team?
Yeah, it was a good game, man. Like Liverpool dominated, and then Fulham got that goal, and then it really changed. Like they didn't do. Liverpool was just dead after that. Like, it was a very good game, but then second half came along. Liverpool, their first goal was kind of lucky. It hit. I forget the name of the defender of Fulham. It kind of hit off his back and went into the goal. And then literally like 70 seconds later, they came in with a really quality goal, went up 2-1, and then won. It was a good match. I think going to Craven Cottage, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens now playing Fulham. They played a good game. I was legitimately worried because Liverpool did not play well the first half, and they're down 1-0. But they came through, so it should be a good finish to series, 2-game series. But yeah, well,
Yeah, so
what do you think?
the second leg is about a week and a half from now, so we won't have an update on next week's pod, but the pod after that we'll be able to talk about the results. But I don't know. Got a good feeling about Fulham. I'm very partial to them because of their American history, American player history. So we'll see what happens.
They're good, man.
Excited.
They're sneaky good. It's not going to be. I think everybody thought Liverpool, when the game was going on, was going to roll over them at home at the Cop, and kind of started out that way. But there's, they weren't too serious. And then once Fulham scored, Liverpool were kind of dead for a while, and Fulham kind of dominated the game. It wasn't until Liverpool got that borderline lucky goal, like it hit off the guy's back and went in. They kind of dominated from there. But I don't know, man. Going to the Cottage, and they're only down essentially a goal. It's going to be a really good game, so it should be fun to watch.
Looking forward to that one.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Just wanted to bring that up.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Brothers at war, Keegan and Trevor.
Yeah, I was going to do the same thing, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time.
Tale is old.
All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining me on this Sunday night, and have a good evening.